Hello YouTube, today I will be comparing the Nightshark to the weaponized Insurgent and not the non-weaponized one like I did last time because I read a comment wrong. The armor provided for the Nightshark to both the gunner and the passengers, if you choose to equip the upgrade at least for the armored plates, is pretty good. Though, if you're driving first person, don't get this because it basically becomes impossible to see, as you can see right here. Protection from all the windows is pretty good. Unlike with the Insurgent, which I'll show you in a minute, the armor plates actually stop bullets. And basically the only way you can get shot out is through the one little viewport. And it's also effective, especially when you're being shot at by NPCs. The unarmored upgraded Insurgent, as well as the light armor upgrade, and the unarmored Nightshark, the windows are completely completely useless. No bullet protection at all for both the side and the front. And it also doesn't even apply to RPGs. Similar to the Menacer as well in this way. Though the fully armored upgrade for the Insurgent, as well as pretty much all the upgrades, doesn't work either. You would expect, because of these armored panels with the full upgrade, you would be protected, but nope. Unlike with the Nightshark, the armored plates over the windows not only limits your visibility, but it's basically just a new texture. They're not bulletproof whatsoever. The side windows, you could especially tell that, because in the clip in what I just showed you, I shot him not through the window, through the armored plate on top of the window. Though at least the front window doesn't limit your visibility as much as with the side windows and with the Nightshark. The armor plates on the windows still don't do anything, as you see right here.
No, please, no!
The stock Insurgent, as well as the light armor upgrade, don't provide much protection for the gunner, but there is at least some protection. The hatch for the gunner itself actually offers pretty good protection from the rear, and the hatch is completely bulletproof. Though you're completely vulnerable to the sides, and mostly vulnerable to the front, but the actual gun does offer some protection, though it's pretty easy to shoot you out. Especially from the front too, because of your head, and the sides, you're completely screwed if someone's shooting you from the side. Though the armor for both the driver and the other passengers is basically useless, and in fact makes it impossible to shoot out of, the armor for the gunner is very good. You have, on top of just the hatch, you also have a full-on armored plate protecting you from gunfire from the rear, as well as a little bit on the side, though the little bit on the side doesn't matter much. The front is basically invincible, because even in that little slot where you can sort of shoot the gunner out, the gun itself blocks it, so it doesn't work there. The only real way you can shoot the gunner out is from above or from the side. As well as at the right distance and with the proper angle, you can shoot them out from the front, but it's very difficult to get that shot. What both vehicles really excel at is protection against explosives. In fact, both of these vehicles are actually more protective than literal tanks like the Kinjali, Rhino, and the APC. I'll just let the clips play themselves and show you how overpowered the armor is. You can also see right here that in the gunner seat, they're still protected against explosives, even if it direct impacts their character. The armor on both the Insurgent and the Nightshark actually seems to become more durable when there's someone inside the vehicle, another player. In this case, it took 9 RPGs. Normally, it only takes 6 or 7. The Nightshark, when it is equipped with the maximum armor, takes about the same amount of shots with an RPG as the Insurgent pickup custom. I've tested both of these vehicles numerous times in my previous videos, especially the Insurgent. But it turns out, after some more testing, plus a tip from a friend, it can take even more damage with someone inside the vehicle. Now the maximum amount of missiles is even more ridiculous than before, though at least this means that no Oppressor Mark II can kill you because they'll run out of missiles before they can. The armor of the Nightshark, when fully upgraded, is basically the same. Okay, I'm back. And finally, it's dead. Okay, let's move on to the next test. Both of these vehicles are pretty durable against explosive sniper rounds. In fact, both of them take over half your explosive sniper ammo. And I didn't test it against the explosive shotgun, since usually the sniper is what you would encounter. But the damage, I think, would be close to the same. When both vehicles have maximum armor, the damage is basically the same. Okay, that's it. I kill you now. Unlike the windows, the actual vehicle itself can take a lot of gunfire before it's destroyed. But that is what you would expect for a armored car. But anyway, here we go. And as usual, I'll be testing it with the 200 round version of the Combat MG Mark II. Yeah, both vehicles are almost identical in terms of bullet protection. When I was testing the weapons for the various vehicles, I decided to go back to what I did with the Insurgent pickup versus the Menacer video I did a few months back, and decided to test the weapons as well as the overall vehicle's capabilities on a mission, in this case Titan of a Job, which is what I did on before, because you basically just have to clear out a bunch of enemies. The MGs, honestly, in this role, suck. Because as I said before, in my previous video, the MGs are most likely just gonna knock the person over before they die. And in fact, it's actually worse than, and does less damage than a normal assault rifle or an MG. And eventually, me and my friend who was doing the mission with me, just got so tired of trying to clear these out with the machine guns that we just decided F it and got out on foot and just finished the mission with guns like normal. And unlike the Insurgent, which you're going to see in a minute, this thing can't equip proximity mines for some reason. I thought it did, but it can't. Not to mention, if it wasn't for this thing's fully bulletproof armor, pretty much, we would have certainly died. And even so, just through that little slot, I've still taken damage. I've already lost all my armor. And I think my friend actually dies during this test too. And here we just decided to give up on trying to kill them with the MGs. For this test, I decided to drive instead of my friend. While at the previous test, he just stood still and let me shoot. This time he's on the gun and I'm also using the proximity mines. Mines themselves are very good if you're being chased by an enemy, though in this situation they aren't the most helpful, mainly because I don't want to risk destroying the Titan in the hangar or destroying the truck, which would then be a pain in the ass to get out of the way. So instead I'm mostly relying on my gunner to shoot the enemies this time. Though if you really wanted to, and if you didn't care about having to about blowing something up, you could just back in there and just spam the button, the mine button, in this, which I'm pretty sure it's the horn button. Also, little tip to avoid dying like my friend did there: if you're in the gunner seat and you're running out of health, just hit the button, which I think is right on D-pad for Xbox. You just go back inside the turret, where you can eat some snacks, put on body armor, do whatever you need to do to heal. When testing the minigun against enemies on foot, I generally found it to be much less effective than the 50 cal because it takes much longer to kill an enemy as opposed to the 1 to 2 shots for the 50 cal. The minigun takes about 4 to 5. It also seems to not be as accurate, and my friend actually knows how to shoot unlike me, so when I swap places with him in a part of the video that I cut, it took even longer to clear out the hangar. As seen in both the previous test and in my previous video where I tested the Nightshark, the Ford MGs are absolutely fucking awful.
Christ!
The damage of both the 50 cal and the 50 cal minigun seems to be about the same. It's pretty decent at killing light armored vehicles like the Kuruma as well as unarmored vehicles. And here is the Combat MG as a comparison. My driving isn't perfect, so take the following times for the following tests with a grain of salt. The Nightshark clearly accelerates to 0 to 50 miles per hour much faster than the Insurgent and only about half the time to accelerate. Though once you get past the 0 to 70 range, it starts to take much longer to accelerate and the difference isn't as significant. Okay, now we test it by going around the map. I plan to start the route for the test here, just south of Chumash and just to the north of the city, and go all the way around the map along this main highway. Go around here through the city and end up at the Diamond Casino. Though I'll probably end up using a shorter version of this track in the future because when I was filming this, it turned out to be a pain in the ass. This video is already starting to drag along, so in order to save the time of the 5 people that are probably still watching by this point in the video, I'm going to just play it at about 10 times speed. If you want to see the full uncut version of both these clips, just let me know in the comments. And we are starting out with the Insurgent. Generally, the max speed you can get with this thing while driving, even if you're mostly driving in a straight line, is about 90 miles per hour. Though I have gone over 100 in some sections. And now the Nightshark. The Nightshark is slightly faster than the Insurgent, but I'm honestly shocked. I thought it would be much faster. Not, it's actually relatively close. My thanks to the 5 people that watched this video all the way to the end. If you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a like so that more people see this. And if you want to see more vehicle comparisons, my next comparison will probably be Voltal versus Aquanost versus Bombushka. And if you want to know when that video comes out, be sure to subscribe with notifications on. Feel free to comment any future video ideas or topics you want me to cover. Thank you for taking 27 minutes out of your day to watch this video.